Good evening and welcome, free Enterprise fans, to match 2 of Dia versus Fleury14. My name is Dathis, and joining me in the booth tonight is Xenocat. How you doing this evening?
A lot better after seeing those fake objectives.
I very much love it. I really hope our chat is chanting about how great they are as well. But I do see we have everything except for Dia's side. Some vanilla names going on here. No naming schemes, though we do have the regular colors of pink and green. And I am kind of curious to see what the actual objectives are here. So what we have here in game 2 is we have Dia up 1-0 over Fleury of this best of 3 series. Really curious to see if Fleury can keep alive and take a game off here, and maybe even pull it back to do a reverse sweep. Really,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Fleury can make a comeback and Dia will sweep the match.
absolutely. Again, two really fantastic runners. Dia very much not to shy away from Eddie strats, and Fleury probably one of the many people I've seen bounce around with those 1200 HP strats. So whether it's something really quick or something really long, we'll go from there. But it does look like our tracker has updated what we have going on here, and we have a freebie and a couple of key item hunts. Possibly we're gonna have some music on the table with complete Cave Magnus, and then the Asura spot at the Town of Seven Monsters. That can be a really tricky spot, or it can be a very easy spot, depending on obviously boss and what we have there, even if it's not a freebie.
Yeah, this is a really interesting set of objectives because you have the one freebie, one that's just get underground and then fight a tough boss, and then one key item hunt.
Yeah, and from what everyone else says, I don't mind it. Everyone likes to think of it as a bit of an out-of-the-way check, but we are actually gifted something very nice, too. That's a character everyone loves to see. That's a Palom start. The Quack Kid himself is going to be in Baron. We're going to see who he's with. Probably one of the better characters to start with. He's got great damage, gets Quake really early, and he can just carry you through, especially once he starts getting Virus. So whoever he gets paired with, we're basically looking for a white mage, maybe an anchor. Definitely not a Cecil, because no one likes to take him with this vanilla agility. Although he's still a big favorite in my heart.
If Porum shows up, do you think our runners will take the Porum right away just for that twin magic?
It's a big gamble. Twin will get you through pretty much 90% of fights that you could find in the overworld. Um, I expect them to at least run around to the majority of the free character checks and then make their decision. But I do see, I 100% see them picking up a Porum if that's all we have. But we are going to get to take a look at who's here. That's some vanilla here. We have Kane here in the second slot. We have a Magna Key, underground access right away. So, and that's not even not only is that Vanilla Kane, that's his Vanilla Sprite. So we're super in here for this. Lunar Sparkle means that we have one possible moon boss that we might have to go through in Baron. The big thing is going to see where they're going to take it. Kane, good character, needs a bit of equipment to go through, but not something you're afraid to go grab back in the Tower of Wishes later.
Yeah. Kane is... He really needs something that's at least a Fire Sword or Flame Spear to be a good damage dealer on the overworld, but if you can find something that equivalent to that or better for him, he can do a lot of damage once he gets a few levels.
Indeed, and it's nice we're already seeing a little bit of divergence. Fleury going and taking a quick loot into Baron, rewarded with a Lilith Rod immediately, whereas Dia gonna go see who's sitting in Watery Pass. And speaking of queens, we have Asura sitting in Baron, talking with Edward. They're gonna be sitting there for a good while. I don't see anybody going there for a minute.
I have to interrupt you. Dia found a heroine robe in the Watery Pass, and that's a Rosa.
That is just the gift that keeps on giving. And and Fleury is about to find that good set there. So Rosa definitely good. Wow, actually turns her down.
Turns down Rosa, who is widely considered to be the superior white mage in the game, with access to a heroine robe.
Bold call Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for Dia. But yeah, and a Charm Rod in there as well. So great magic items for these Quack kids to start off with. But yeah, not taking that Rosa is very, very curious, especially with both of them. Wow, no one committing to that early Rosa. Again, I kind of understand. Like we were talking about Twin Magic, a very, very big possibility. So if you take the Porum, you're kind of investing in that character in and of itself. But yeah, Heroine Rogue Rosa is honestly just something that just makes a whole lot of your overworld just a lot freer, really. You find a good set of arrows for her, or you can just take the Sid, and that's your anchor and overworld access.
Yeah, Sid will provide a really solid source of damage on the overworld, especially if you can find anything better than his starting wooden hammer. Although, it'll do in a pinch.
Apparently not. It won't do well enough for Dia. She turns him down as well. So we've got a nice pair at least sitting in Mysidia. Probably gonna grab them on the way around through after checking this Hobbs. We're gonna be curious to see if Fleury also takes this character or not. And it looks like also not committing to the Sid.
I'm guessing both of our runners are just holding out on filling their party until they've seen a few more of their options.
Very true. Greed can absolutely lead to some things. That's a Mylon of some flavor and another Cane. Yeah, Dia absolutely going to reset out of that. Fleury doing a bit of a different move. He's going to be looks like he's heading up toward Deals. Yeah, checking that Ordeals for the character instead of Hobbs.
That is definitely a spicy play, since it never feels good to double dip Ordeals, although as I say it, Dia is right on his heels, heading up Ordeals. But this is a character that not many people check early, but it's just another Rosa.
Now here's the question: is Fleury going to take this one? We do have the Aerith Rosa. Nope. This one is also being turned down by Fleury because he didn't save, so he's not resetting out like what Dia is doing, so he has to walk it out. But yeah, like Maggie the Cat saying in chat, and you mentioned earlier, probably just going to grab everything, be like, okay, this is what my starting party looks like. I almost anticipate, depending on who's here, we're going to see a Rosa and a Sid pickup. If there is another Palom or a Porum here, oops, all Rosas. Sorry. Did you want second Rosa? How about third Rosa
And third Cane?
Let's go.
We can't give you new characters. You need more Roses and Canes.
Love that Cane palette. And then we have Scala Rosa, which, I mean, if you're going to take a Rosa, that's the palette to take. But yeah, that's a set of characters, and Fleury actually taking the Cane as well. All right, I know we're supposed to not be biased here, but Fleury's got to win this because he took my boy.
I mean, that doesn't have a weapon for Cane yet, but it's usually not too hard to find one.
Now, that is the nice thing about Cane versus someone like Sid. Yes, Sid comes in with a lot of HP. His agility is fairly low, so he's great for anchoring. But Cane's versatility of weapons, he's got swords, he's got daggers, he's got spears, he's got axes. Like, he uses pretty much anything except bow and arrow, really. Because the only way to back row glitch him is with that dwarf axe. But aside from that, you pretty much find any weapon, like, just laying around that's not a staff, and he's going to be able to use it. When we have Fleury and Dia kind of running right at each other's heels here. Underground, not a bad play. This does allow the double dip Fabul at the very most if we get a free pan. It does a single dip, but it does open up Sheila one check. And it also gives you access to just look around and see what's going on in Feymarch, which is one of those required fights.
And our runners may be looking, or at least Fleury may be looking to buy a weapon for Cane from one of those underground shops, as you can find a Blizzard. The odds are pretty good of finding a Blizzard Spear or an Ogre Axe.
Oh, absolutely. And the knowledge of at least having where that Blizzard Spear is, you may not be able to afford it just now, but with looting of the Feymarch, both the outer path to the Land of Summon Monsters, as well as the Feymarch itself, which is usually fairly loaded in the weights, you could find enough, or you could not. Could also get very, very cheeky and loot some of the things in Sylph Cave while you're there.
I mean, that is a really cheeky play, although with 7 trap chests in Sylph Cave, it's not something that I think either of our runners are going to be doing.
No, 7 trap chest normally is a no-go. Add in the fact that we have that sparse 60 still. Those are very much odds that are not in your favor and not things you're looking for. Speaking of also not in the favor, the loot here, you know, I was just about to talk crap about the loot, and then we get an Elven Bow. So, I mean, that's really, really good.
Yeah, I combine that with the mute arrows that Fleury found on Ordeals, and you've got yourself a bow, an arrow, and a heroine robe. That's a Zerka Rosa right there.
Indeed, that'll take a very, very short work of that Asura that we've seen. No idea who's behind her, but and a protect ring too to keep her nice and guarded. Not a key item what we were kind of hoping to get, but still something very solid for a piece of armor to make this Rosa really strong. Also, bandanas if you really want to pump up her damage even further.
Yeah, that bandana, is not too expensive and is a really nice piece of strength boosting gear.
Dia also finding mute arrows here, so Elven Bow paired up with those mute arrows, not falling behind too far with Fleury. Looks like both of them are going to do a quick save. Maybe going to check out to see which that boss is here before we use that either exit item or walk on out with the lower treasury.
And boy, aren't we glad that we don't have to fight the Leviathan spot, because that was a CPU at Leviathan, but Odin at Asura is not going to be too much easier.
See, now hear me out. I actually would rather fight that Leviathan spot. Yeah, it's got a whole lot more HP, but you don't have to care about this. Like, you don't really care a whole lot about what that speed is, because all it is percentage HP. And the fact that its attack spot is very high, you don't care about what the stats are. That's not that bad. And as we're getting some pointing out in chat, that Odin, extremely free with that Odin, with it Edward that we saw in Baron Inn, if you want to commit to him. But if you're committing to him, you're committing to him as an anchor, and you're kind of like limiting your party at that point. Also, that Thunder Rod can kind of make it free too if you can get some cheeky stuff going off there.
Even with enough armor on that cane, you could probably get something going on with jumping over the Odin attacks.
Indeed, and these runners are no slouches. Fleury definitely could get that timing down right. May take 1 or 2 rounds because, again, nerves get really, really high, especially since this is a do-or-die situation for him. But it looks like he has said enough of the underground, is not going to take that free heal, and is just going to go off and check to see what's sitting in Antlion.
Yeah. While Dia is taking a walk through the Sylph Cave to set up the Sheila 1 check, Fleury has decided to forego that check for now and dive into the Antlion Cave.
Indeed, Dia doing a little bit more shopping percentage. Again, knowing where things are, a big, big boon here. Nothing great in the armor shops. Probably still looking for that curse ring. Has 1 more shop to hit to possibly find one. Or sorry, 2 more if we find the Baron key anytime soon. Does find something great in the manner of illusions, though. That really makes Edward going and taking that Odin an extremely, extremely attractive option.
Yeah, without those illusions, without that source of blink on Edward, Eddie's very likely to go down to an attack from Odin before he can get that lead item off.
Indeed, and Rosa going to make very quick work of this fight here. We do have the guards here. Mute arrow, mute bow, Elven Bow going to do just a ton. 1,700 damage. That's more than this spot has, and we're dividing it in half. Though we do see cabins and we saw life potions from Dia, so that's part of what's necessary for a grind. And did find the other half of what she was looking for. That's the cursed ring sitting in Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, that cursed ring and rune rings for sale if you're looking for mage resistance.
Well, the entirety of the seed is 100% open to us. There's a darkness crystal. Super reward. Don't ever sleep on that Antlion.
This just turned into the most open-ended scavenger hunt for the Twin Harp.
Indeed. So what we're really looking for here is one of like 3 options now. We're really looking for a Tellus. We can get a really quick D-Machine grind going on. We are also kind of looking for a Zeus Gauntlet and then getting our White Mage up to the point where she can cast Blink. and we're looking for just any other way to maybe grind later on. But we do have several different options available, and we do have that free character check. That could be Atella sitting on the moon saying, "Hey, come get me. We can grind right now."
Well, we can't grind right now. We have to do our deals first.
Okay, come get me. We can grind in about 5 minutes.
Much better. And we find another mage attacking Fabul. It's the Mega Sisters.
Yeah, this isn't going to be much of a fight. Getting that attack off before the script even starts going through. Going to have ourselves probably a very quick arrow to one of each of the sisters, and it's going to be all she wrote. Yeah, 1500 damage from that Rosa. That's a little bit of a strength right now.
Wouldn't quite be able to one-shot this spot if all the HP was on one enemy, but with it split up between the three sisters, easily one-shots each of them.
Indeed, and the really interesting thing is Dia has enough protection on that Rosa, could in theory just do the entirety of that Baron section. Has the mute arrows, which will get her right through that Asura spot, and then can go from but that is not a Dark Knight sword, unfortunately, King of Fabul. That is the Legend sword, so that is half of our first objective too.
Wow, this seed just went from scavenger hunt for one specific key item to scavenger hunt for one of two key items.
Hey, let's see if Sheila's got the goods. Got Dia's namesake key item, but yeah, not the worst. Still looking for a hook to be able to turn that in. Right now, it's just item 3 or key item 3 of 10 for double experience.
It's better than some rewards.
I mean, at least it's a key item. Again, may not be progression, but it is a key item.
Could have been an ether too.
Wait, those are in the pool? Huh.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I mean, the worst I've ever seen has been a Zeus Rage, so that was something that was like, that's thanks, game. Yeah, Dia checking the shop there. Nothing aside from Kamikaze really standing out. Probably still looking for some Thor Rages, some Ethers. Very, very interesting shop checks here. I think she has here Troya and Kaipo left to check.
That sounds right. We find Thor Rage's tents and lives in Silvera.
Only thing
Huge
we're really
value
missing
from that shop.
Ethers from a grind right now. So looks like we're gonna get. I was gonna say maybe a vanilla miss check, but Dia, knowing she's got the strength that she's got, seems to want to go after this Asura. Again, I'm here for this fight, or could just be checking the Baron shop. I don't know. I'm crazy.
All right, that's a shop that's easy to forget since it's right next to this key item check.
Yeah, I believe Fleury had checked it first, so I kind of blanked out. But yeah, so we get Fleury. He finishes off those Mega Sisters in kind as well, gets that objective, and gets the half of another one, while Dia gonna put a very quick smackdown onto the Asura.
That's like 4 times the damage you needed to beat that boss, Dia.
What? No, it's totally an excessive amount. Ooh, is this Elements or Ruby?
It's Elements.
Ooh, Elements. Oh man, the second form is not gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah. Once this Fire 2 goes off. Or
so Kids just says get out. I mean,
and
just
getting a
Moonveil.
But Moonveil's really good. That'll. I mean, that
does make that Odin completely free.
I think you still have to hide from the Zentetsuken, but.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, Edward wouldn't have to worry about illusions anymore. He just hops that moon veil and then good to go. Speaking of good to go, Fleury's decided he's good to go and check out what this moon character is not happy with the rest of the checks and says, we're going to do it this way. Whereas Dia, going to go check for some vanilla demist because, I mean, I'm here, so it could happen.
It's not vanilla, though. It's just Plague.
It's kind of a sad boss to see out of the pool. Nice freebie in a location that you wish you could be fighting it, but I mean, here we are.
Yeah, no Plague today. Plus, it means now that all those other sparkles that we've seen are going to get ruder.
Dia finding a runner's favorite item, the silk webs here in Troya, while she goes and checks the second item. While Fleury has the big whale up, and we're going to go take a quick look at that character after throwing down a safety save.
Star Veils were in the other Troya shop, but Dia did not buy any.
No Star Veils really necessary right now. We haven't found the big three nasties that require them, Bahamut, Golbez, or Wyvern. So they're kind of not a really big priority to be picking up at this current moment. Still has the Kaipo shop because that's where our ethers are currently residing, because I don't think we've seen them anywhere else.
And it looks like Dia's stocking up on characters, maybe thinking about taking on that Odin, picking up Kane and Edward.
Speaking of an Edward, there's an edge on the moon that Fleury honestly hesitated for a moment. I think he was thinking about it, but said, you know what, nah, we're good without you. It's interesting. Edge has been very not quite seen in this tournament for how good he is, but not exactly like high prized by people, because again, we don't really see his ninja blades as much anymore because of the T Crow shop waiting, so he's fallen out of favor. However, we do see another little bit of divergence. Fleury going up this amount of deals, and Dia gonna be doing these Edward strats we were talking about. But speaking of Xenocat, can you actually explain what 100% these Edward strats we're talking about are?
Of course. So Odin has a script where on the third time he raises his sword, if you hit him with like a lightning item or spell, a J item will work just fine, like a Thor Rage. There will be a Thunderstruck Odin script, and Odin will instantly die. However, Odin, you have to live through 2 Zantetsukyns in order to get to that point, and Zantetsukin at the Asura spot is going to do a lot of damage. That's where Eddie's hide command comes in. When Eddie's hidden, he can just avoid Zantetsukin. So, looks like Dia is laying on a silk web just to slow Odin down to make the timing a little bit easier. He's going to be hiding that Eddie, and we'll be seeing a Thunderstruck Odin after a couple of Zantetsukyns, if all goes well.
Oh man, she even gets the timing for jump on that Kane. Has one more illusion that she could use. Oh no, Kane's gonna be taking that damage, and we're gonna get the second raise up here. Oh, there's the second Odin. Ooh, Edward didn't get an illusion, so takes that hit as soon as he pops out. Unfortunately, doesn't get that. Takes the wipe, but she's gonna make another good attempt right here.
Yeah, I believe you can even avoid that physical attack if you show just a little bit later.
Indeed. And speaking of things disappearing, Fleury has gotten through not one but 2 bosses on the top of her deals, which are really easy for his team. We had Pain Man, which more like Tickle Man. Dark Knight Cecil throwing out those dark waves for next to nothing. And then we had an Octomom on the backside, which a good lit 2 or 2 and some damage from Rosa, gets you there. And Fleury is going to find out exactly what this key item is, which we're hoping is some good progression here. Could in fact get ourselves an adamant. But it looks like it is.
It is the adamant.
Alright, so there's objective 1 dipped off. And we have a Knazo.
Fleury's in go mode.
He 100% is in go mode right now. All right, 3 character. What is that? 5 key item go mode. Let's go.
I mean, this seems like a seed to just pick up Eddie and do some Eddie strats.
So I think this is the point where if you're Flurry and you just kind of want to like get through this, what you could do is you could toss the Moonveil on this Kane if you don't want to pick up this Edward, and just go jump over the two Zentensukens and then just toss down that Thor Rage. That is a very viable option right now.
But then there's the matter of beating Zeromus.
Oh, there are several strats that can be done with low levels and low equipment. Flurry is one of the people who've done the 1200 HP strats, which doesn't require more than a whole lot of heal items and star veils and such like that. As well as if you do take that Edward, again, it's just the same thing, but a little bit slower.
Yeah, Eddie strats are quite slow.
Yeah, but when you're gifted a go mode this early on in the seed, you kind of have to just roll with it. All right, looks like we have the Thor Rage queued up while we have this up, and this looks like it's a Thunderstruck. And Odin has in fact been Thunderstruck.
There's a little moment of delay there before it dissolved.
That's the package for Dia. That's another character check. That could be where Artel is hiding. However, Flurry, on the other side here, is going to be turning in the Legend Sword, going to be finishing up Objective 1 in a couple of moments, while also getting access to that Coal Shop, which has access to pretty much everything in the game. We could see some Ninja Swords here. We could see some Bacchus Wines and a Power Shirt. Probably the nicest things out of there. That Lunar Staff, nothing to scoff at, but
Hey, sometimes you need a good stat stick for Rosa.
oh, absolutely. Not ever going to knock the Lunar Staff. I'm just saying that there are better items that we could find, but that Bacchus Wine kind of makes that edge a little bit more attractive right now.
Yeah, having that source of Berserk is huge.
Yeah, and the thing is we don't really have another mage to pair with this this kid, so we're kind of like, if we do this, if we do some of the low HP strats, it's basically centering around him and still finding ways to get XP. Dia finishing up underground though, and is gonna go find herself that adamant. I mean that darkness crystal.
The adamant was Ordeals, not Antlion.
And as chat's pointing out, both runners deciding that they are 100% fading all objectives fading all memes. We're not getting anything anywhere near Job Dwarf. Hopefully we get some other stuff going on soon. I hope we get music. Probably not going to get it, but I mean, here we are.
I mean, where would Dia go before Ordeals that could have the Twin Harp?
That's a very good point. Oh, I know where Dia could go if Flurry and Dia are both looking for other characters, like looking for Tella or something. Could go here to this dwarf castle here.
That would be an option.
Dia grabbing that darkness crystal, making again very, very quick work with that mute arrow and elven bow combination to get rid of those Baron guards. Whereas Flurry found himself that curse ring, and gonna see where he goes next.
Looks
Dia.
like Baron in.
Yeah, Flurry doing Baron. Dia checking to see what we've got hiding here at the waterfall. That's an evil wall, and just says, nope, that's not Deimos.
And Evil Wall is definitely a boss you like to see out of the way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Dia following up the mountain now, going to be getting her go mode as well. So we have ourselves a race going on right now.
Yeah, this is getting very close. Dia just has to get through these 3 fairly easy bosses atop ordeals. Well, Flurry just has to beat that Odin spot. And then once Dia forges, both of our runners will have their crystal.
Absolutely. And the real question is are we going to see Flurry do the exact same thing? Is he going to be using Eddie? Is he going to use that Moon Veil and go through? There's a whole bunch of different options that he can go through. It's just very, very interesting to see which way he's about to go through it. And then again, it comes down to how's the execution going to happen? Are we going to see Flurry go up to 1200 HP strats? Are we going to see double solo Eddie? Which, I mean, not the most exciting fight, but it's a very, very nice to see an technical aspect.
Yeah. I mean, the Eddie strats, I always say, are really interesting in concept, but really boring to watch.
Oh, 100%. So I hope you've got some good jokes to be telling in the meantime, so, if we're watching dueling Eddies.
I thought you were bringing the jokes.
Please. I bring vanilla. That's all I'm here for. We see Flurry getting through that Baron fight. I don't believe I saw if he picked up the Eddie, but that Moon Veil again pushes him right down there.
He did pick up the Eddie.
Okay, so we are going to see dueling Eddie strats. I just see him change to it now. I don't believe he picked up any of the illusions in Dwarf Castle, so is probably going to... What are you doing there, Flurry? He paused for a quick moment. But yeah, so it looks like it is going to be most likely Moonveil strats going on here just to get everything going down. And Dia getting through those two fights again. Pain Man throwing out about 30 damage from those waves, and then Octomama not long for the world with 800 damage crits from Rosa, plus that lit too.
Yeah, this is one of the friendlier ordeals that I've seen.
You know what? I think we got to have a reroll. This isn't back attack Valvalis for Dia for like the 8th time in a row.
Oh gosh, you can't even like cheese through her like back attack Odin.
I mean, you have enough damage on that Rosa. She doesn't care about back attack Valvalis.
Fair enough.
Dia picking up that other sweet legendary rock while Flurry healing some people up, and we're going to see how he's going to get through this Odin, because this is the most interesting part in my opinion.
Yep, immediately going for that Moon Veil.
Yeah, I figured with the way he had his party set up and tossing that curse ring on Palom means that he's got everything, all that he needs for this Eddie right here. Even getting out a slow on Rosa, perfect. Wow, Odin being very nice board AI-wise, letting Rosa even stay up completely heal or completely alive. Picking on the Quack Kid too, letting Rosa get 2 slows off. That's board AI in your favor.
Yeah, that is amazing RNG.
Yeah, and we're seeing just how much damage that Zantetsuken does. 4K from to everybody. That's not a hit you want to take. Odin getting that second swing.
Yeah, magic bosses at the Asera spot are not fun times.
Oh, a little too soon there, maybe, Flurry? Oh, no.
Nope, looks like the sword did get raised before the lip bolt got off. And
very true, but there is a possibility where he could have queued it right before the script happens, because I believe it's raise sword, pause, and then do the action, or then get ready for the trigger to be thunderstruck. I could be wrong.
I think it's raise sword and be vulnerable at the same time, and then he unsets the vulnerability before doing the Zantetsuken.
Ah, very, very fair.
So there's a window after, if you're too late. You can be too late and miss it, but it's hard to be too early with the sword up.
All right, so we have 31 minutes, 17 second. We have crystal mode, in-go mode for Flurry, and Dia is right hot on his heels. We're going to see exactly when. So we're going to see, again, who this last character is and how they're going to be doing this, because we've seen Star Veils, we've seen, I believe, heal potions somewhere. The important thing is what we're going to see after this. So yeah, 30 seconds shy of each other, basically. We got these runners, both of us in go mode, and we got ourselves a race, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and this might be one of the first races I've seen where neither runner picks up a 5th character.
To answer a question in chat, it is Dia. You can tell by the raised Cecil on the left-hand side. She won the first match. All right, we have Fleury unequipping everything from that Rosa. He needs all the money he can for this. He's going to sell the entirety of the bank, which I 100% don't blame him on this.
Gotta stock up on those Star Veils.
Star Veils, heal pots, vampires if we can find them. Let's see how many he's going to be getting. 20. Oh, he can almost get 25. Yeah, sell that Excalibur. Why are you sitting on that, man?
No one needs an Excalibur. There's no Cecil.
30 Star Veils, that's all you need.
30 is plenty for Eddie Strats.
And for literally the comments going on in chat that Fantastodon couldn't believe that there was one tie. Also being corrected by chat, there was 2 ties in this tournament, and I believe Smapey was on the side of both of them, if I remember correctly. I definitely know he was on the side of one. But yeah, we get shopping percent going on here. So while we have our runners basically running around shopping for things and Dia racing up the big whales, what I really want to do is give a big shout out to the 2 behind the scenes doing all the work here. We got Neil Bari doing our restream and Morpheus doing the tracking for the very limited time, but it came in fast, it came in furious, and it came in furious with all these key items as we see here. We have basically 6 key items, we're good to go, and objectives already all lit up.
Yeah, Fleury looks to be ready to go at this point, getting into the big whale as Dia is raising her whale.
Indeed. And so here's the really interesting thing. I think this seed is the fastest go mode, and we're looking to be the fastest just seed in general right now. I don't think we've seen anything sub 1 hour so far.
Yeah, this is looking like a very fast seed for both of our runners.
Being corrected by Gambit017 in chat, we have seen one in chat, or 1 sub hour, which was the Hook 2 play-in, it looks like, from Pixel Tamer with a whole lot of exclamation marks.
Hook 2 was certainly a time, and checking that moonshot has put Dia in the lead.
She may. Oh, yeah, she is in the lead because Fleury also reset out of this character. You are correct, but it is going to come down to execution at this point now.
Yeah, the runners are extremely close at this point. It's just a mad dash to this Zeromus fight, and then a lot of Eddie tossing items at Zeromus, and Zeromus counterattacking with nukes that bounce back at himself.
And also being informed that match 1 was sub-hour. It was 58 and change for Dia. So this is all we're looking for, the quick rundown. The question is anybody going to take a safety save, or are you just running right down the Z and saying whatever happens, happens?
I mean, that would be really interesting, especially since this is so close.
And yeah, so Dia has just shy of a 10-second lead on Fleury going down. Got through there, didn't check the shop, ran through. So this is very, very tight. They are basically 2 screen transitions away from each other right now. This is going to be so very cool. I love races like this. As much as I love the jet side, it's more entertaining to see that long like key item hunts. But guys, not yet. Tons of time. But it is entertaining to see just like that mad dash.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really hyped to see that it's so close at this point. With Fleury just being a couple of screens behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, the real question is, and then D is going to answer, are we going to get swag or are we going to get safety? Ah, it's safety save.
And some party setup, because that Eddie was not... She did not have her anchor set up. Although Fleury is also taking the safety save, so...
Yeah, they're taking time. They're just getting things set up here. And it looks like they are both heading down to battle speed 3 as well.
Yeah. Fleury did take that edge, which might be good for a little bit of extra early damage in this Eddie Strats fight. So he could shave off a nuke or two.
This is true. He could have him do some auto attacks, could have him just run through. The low-level strats have just always been something that's eluded me, so I'm never sure how they're going to execute this. But this is where you guys see like the real nitty-gritty runs. It's you could have like we've seen vampire strats, we've seen just solo Eddie strats, just everything. And no, not you know what? They're hungering for it, Xenocat. So all these flags are out there. Can you ask the question or what's this about?
I think they want me to ask, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight? I know I didn't say that exactly right, but it's fine.
Oh, come on, you did fabulous. But yeah, so as you're asking, what are we going to do with this Zeromus? So Zeromus is an incredibly complex boss. Can't have him anywhere besides the end. Plus, it's that great clashing finale that we have going on here. But randomizers as we do it, we can't have anything just pure vanilla as much as I wish we could. We have to have a little bit of fun here. We get a little bit of craziness. So instead of randomizing his location, thanks to the work of Boardface and the wonderful art wizard that she is, Scala Kitty, we have something in the neighborhood of just around 500 now sprites, 450 plus of sprites for this Zeromus, and we're going to see exactly whose butt we're going to be kicking as Dia throws that crystal not even 10 seconds faster than Fleury. Hey, and we have Zeromus from the easy type version.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys wanted to fight Zeromus. How about the more different Zeromus?
Sure. Both Eddies are... Oh. Dia's Eddie just came out. I was gonna say both Eddies are hidden, but then...
Alright, so what we have going on here is a whole bunch of work that we're going to have a whole lot of time to explain. So, basically, Zeromus has a couple of things in his script. Dia taking a quick reset. That's not great.
Oh no.
But that does give the time to walk down. Well, she walks back down to explain it again a little bit more. Whereas Fleury just going pure Eddie strats. So Edward has the ability hide that we've seen in action against Odin. It protects him from all damage that can be done to him. So what happens is he hides, comes back out with his Star Veils. He uses an action or a spell-like effect on Zeromus. Could either be the crystal, could be heal potions that we've seen people throw on them, could be spells themselves. What any spell does that is not white, literally the spell white or holy, it triggers a counter nuke. The nuke does a couple of things. One, it resets his magic power so that Big Bang doesn't hurt as much, and two, it triggers this counter nuke as we see here. So what Fleury is going to be doing is he's doing basically the most, some people could call it janky reflex strats, essentially, where he has Zeromus kill himself with his own nukes.
Janky is definitely right.
What's been the fastest time I think people have gone through this with these Eddie strats?
I am not sure, but I feel like 18 minutes feels like a fast Eddie strats.
Yeah, 15 minutes is about what you're looking for. And to answer question in chat, no, this is battle speed 3 on Fleury's side. But yeah, basically, what the only way Dia gets back into this, from what it looks like right now, is if she gets very lucky with a lot of really high rolls on these big bangs. Sorry, on these nukes. She needs like a lot of like 2K rolls. Fleury needs a lot of like 1500s. Also, he's making very good use again of the Echo Notes because technically it still casts a spell on Zeromus, which is why it's better than using the crystal, because the crystal is a long animation.
If you can avoid it, don't use the crystal. It's so long. Although it will work perfectly fine.
And yeah, as we see here, the reason why the runners had to buy so many of these Star Veils is because Edward comes out, has to reuse them, and every 2 Big Bangs, I believe it is, or 1 Big Bang occasionally will trigger Black Hole, which allows Zeromus to remove any bonus status effects that are on your party, while being one of them.
I believe that Black Hole is after every Big Bang, starting after the second one. At least for the phase that we're going to be seeing here.
Indeed, and the way we know that Zeromus is still going to be in the first phase is because he has a very specific script. In the first, he does his Big Bang, Shake, Big Bang, Shake, Black Hole Shake, and then he also does an all-party virus, which kind of helps him in this aspect. So it's every third Big Bang and Black Hole cast.
Yeah, and that virus is helpful both for the casting of virus being bounced back on Zeromus and doing damage, and it provides an extra window for Eddie to trigger another nuke.
However, it can also be as much of a curse as it is a blessing. If you manage to get to that one point where virus is taking down the HP, it will also reset the Zeromus' HP pool. So that is a possibility that can happen here, and is probably the only way that Dia is getting back into this. But it is very, very close, regardless, based on what these damage rolls are, even though Fleury's getting a couple of those 2K rolls.
I didn't think virus could trigger the HP refill.
If I could be corrected in chat by anybody who knows it better than I do, I believe the HP... I don't believe he can get the HP ran out on this phase. I know it can happen on the second phase, though.
I mean, I've definitely seen it on the second phase before, but... I don't know.
Again, that's a question we can ask Fleury and Dia when this race is done. But yeah, again, this is the full swing of what we have going on here. It's not... It's a whole lot of technicality. As we said, it's not the most exciting to watch. It's a whole lot of counting. It's a whole lot of going back and forth. And it's a whole lot of using items for your inventory. So while we're getting through on this, let's actually take a quick look at what is upcoming.
That's a good idea.
So while we have match 2 going on here, we are waiting. So we do have it on the 5th is Dia versus Fleury, possibly for the game 3, if Fleury ekes out a win here, November 5th at the same bat time, same Bat Enterprise channel at 9:30 Eastern. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen after this match, though.
Yeah. To participate in more of this discussion about SAP triggering the refill in chat, I mean, SAP it's super unlikely to happen. The SAP effect does so little damage compared to the damage from these nukes and viruses. And to answer the question from PK, Fleury is ahead by a few minutes because Dia had an unfortunate miss menu in her first Z fight very early on and had to take a reset.
Well, here's a good time. While we have this time here, let's do a full recap of this seed. We started off with no key item in the seed. We did a little bit of running around.
We started
sorry,
with
it was
magma.
a magma key start. We started with a magma key start, went underground, found ourselves Protect Ring. We had Odin at the Queen Summon Monster spot, and we found Darkness Crystal very early on. Nary a Tella to be seen, as you can see here. Edge sitting up on the moon, and we had the objectives of, as we can see here, Fabul giving us Legend Sword and Adamant sitting at Mount Ordeals. So go mode really early and really quick.
Yeah, this seed handed everything our runners needed to them very quickly. And that Eddie was just chilling and bearing in. With a moon veil.
Oh yeah, let's not fail to forget the 3 Rosas, the 3 Canes, and the Heroine robe that was sitting in Watery Pass with the Rosa just be like, I'm right here, that both runners gave up and said, no, we don't want this.
They both took her later, and both found mute arrows and an elven bow to destroy all of the mage bosses that showed up.
No, they both took the 3rd Rosa, not the 1st one.
Fine, if you want to be specific.
I will. But then, yeah, we saw a Moon Veil in Baron Inn with this Edward, as well as there were some illusions in shop. So we saw 2 different ways. We saw Dia go through with illusions and cane jump, and then we saw Fleury go through with the Moon Veil and basically Eddie tanking and getting very lucky with his attack rolls, basically all hitting that Edward, so Rosa could have gotten a double slow off.
Yeah, both our runners getting through that Odin without doing any sort of level grinding at all.
So we obviously haven't been keeping track of the damage here. We are getting closer to I think about maybe past the halfway point. I think Fleury's been here for about 10-ish minutes. But yeah, it's been again, this is just a lot of technicalities you see here. Any one slip up and this fight is completely over for either one of the runners. You bring Edward out a little bit too soon, you miss menu, you take a little bit too long on everything. You just are looking for any slight gap that's going on can ruin things. Yeah, Possibilities, our tracker, 38:27. So yeah, as is about right, about 10, 11-ish minutes. So getting near that past 1 or 2/3 mark.
Yeah, and I have a question for you and for chat. What's the better item to toss at Zeromus? Antidotes or Echo Notes?
I believe it's neither. I believe it's either one. They both have the same animation. I like Echo Notes because it's the closest we're going to get to the actual harp check.
Gambit bringing up the third-party candidate crosses.
Mr. Bus Driver bringing up diet food. I mean, these are all good options here.
I think I've tried diet food and it does not work.
Huh, does it not? That's interesting.
I definitely have tried it. And it does not play the heal animation.
What animation does it play?
I don't remember. I don't even think I got a reaction. It was weird.
I'm gonna have to go look for those now. That's a
I might have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure I tried this in a seed. And they let me down.
Alright, so let's go with something else while we're going through here. Chat, what is your favorite boss and location combination for rudeness for runners to be encountering? Same with you, Zeno. What's your favorite combination for runners to fight?
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm always a fan of Alt Gauntleted Ogopogo, but that's like the obvious pick.
Nah. See, Ogopogo. Let's even just go Ogopogo spot. I say Alt Gauntleted Ogopogo. That's nothing. Have you ever fought the Magus sisters there?
Oh, I know they're rude.
I have two bosses that I'd never ever want to see in locations again. Magus Sisters at Ogopogo, and I've done it once, and I swear if I ever see this again, Dark Elf at Rubicante with like low party team.
Oh, oh my gosh, I've done that recently. It's not fun.
Never again.
I didn't have heal potions. It was not fun.
Wait, wasn't that the race against you that we had that happen?
I don't think so.
I did it in a race against someone during the top 32.
I don't think it was our race.
Either
I had it happen in a practice seed recently, and I was like, I lost half an hour to that Dark Elf.
And to answer the question in chat, it's not hard, it's just really annoying because it is such a fast spot, and if you don't have ruby rings to prevent the piggy, you're looking at characters being piggied all the time. The spells come out fast and they come out furious, and it's a lot of everything happening all the time.
Would definitely not advise going into Dark Elf at Ruby with 1 Palom and 2 Porums. To be fair, one of them was a Zerker Porum, but still, not fun.
Shazman getting in his honorable mention of Evil Wall at Elements. Yeah, a lot of physical bosses at Elements. Even CPU is not fun.
Don't show me CPU at Elements.
I've seen Baigen at CPU. That's oof.
Ooh, no. Very bad. I mean, there's always Kenazo at Elements.
Oh, that's like Old Gauntlet Ogopogo. That's just that's a gimme. That's a whole bunch of nope you don't want to see as a runner, but something you love to see is the opposite side as as us viewers.
Ogopogo at Ruby is another one.
Yeah, if you see that there, you're not ready for it, and you haven't done a grind. That is in fact a surprise that you are not wanting whatsoever.
Especially if you don't have a white mage.
Ooh, Golbez at Magnus. That's a really good one. Yeah, and his spells don't even do anything to himself there.
Yeah,
so.
You gotta actually do all the damage yourself, and he cuts off the music? So rude.
This is true. No, you know what? That's it. Hands down. Chat, I think we have the winner. Golbez at Magnus, because it's not even like you get part of the music and it swaps around. No, it just is cut off near the beginning. So Golbez at Cave Magnus is our winner tonight.
Yeah, no need to think about any other rude boss combinations.
And to answer the question in chat, who came into the Eddie Strats first? Technically, Dia came into Eddie Strats first. She did pick up that Edward first and did go underground for Odin. As for this fight, also technically Dia. She took a bit of a bad wipe, did have to come back into it, and Fleury is been in here for the longer time. And Morpheus, our tracker, pointing out that we have around the 17-minute mark from Fleury here, so he's getting near the tail end of his run.
Yeah, we should see Fleury finishing up pretty soon. I mean, I'm seeing he's used almost 20 Star Veils, and that's about my gauge for the end of an Eddie Strats fight.
I'm going to defer to you on that one, because I have done Eddie Strats exactly once, and then I swore them off. I will never do them again.
I've done them a couple times. I'm not that good at them, but sometimes your Darkness Crystal is behind an Ogopogo Leviathan and you're in go mode, and you're like, I just want to do Eddie Strats.
I'll take that fight. If there's something I've learned, it's brute force. If it doesn't work, you're not doing it right. And I will brute force my way through any seed one way or the other. Fleury also getting some decent damage rolls on these virus casts. We're seeing, unfortunately, Dia rolling as sub-thousands, and Fleury's getting 1,500 plus.
Yeah, and that 2,200 damage nuke. Feels like Fleury's getting all the luck this seed.
Answering a question in chat from Scythe Marshall, is there a minimum number of Starveils required if you do Eddy strats correctly based on minimum damage rolls? 25 or so? 30-ish from what it seems like. 30 to 40 seems to be about where you want. I would go 40 would probably be your safety net to make sure you have enough for that.
I have done the math, and 25 is very safe.
And there's the crack, there's the bang, there's the boom, there's the flash. Aromas is down, time of 57 minutes, 17 seconds. Fleury comes back, ties it all up, 1 round apiece, and does win this round. And we are, in fact, joined by Fleury. GG, my friend.
Thank you.
So, first question I gotta ask. Heroin Robe, Rosa and Watery Pass, and you say no. Why did you turn down that gift that was just given to you?
In case I see another Palom. I feel like I've had a lot of races where I lost early game time because Twin is a thing, and I had a pretty good idea that hey, maybe we see Palom anyway. But I mean, even with that, like it's only an extra 10 seconds to go to the back of Mysidia if you have to do that, and it turned out Rosa was in Mysidia. My last character check, so didn't actually lose time. I wasn't going to take any fights before that, and I know I could theoretically lose time if you get a Palom start, you take the Rosa, you get the Heron Robe, and you go right in. But I just like to get like all the character information early.
That definitely makes sense. So how about those Eddy strats on Odin?
Yeah. Just thankful to have put the practice in to kind of know how that works. I had bought an illusion in preparation for it. I thought I might have needed to, but I from what I could tell, I usually get away with 1 blink cast, so I thought 1 would have been fine. And then I got the Moon Veil, and I'm like, all right. And as I'm walking down, I'm like, oh, I don't have a Silk Web. So, Rosa, please. Please don't get hit. And she didn't get hit. Alternatively, I could have had Rosa go first and Moonveil, Edward throw an illusion, and then that's probably fine. But I kind of went for the home run, and it worked out.
Yeah, luck was on your side tonight.
Yeah, it's if you would have told me the finishing time to this seed would have been 57 minutes, I would have been like, well, it was a nice tournament, guys. Nice run. See you next time. So very, very thankful to get to game 3. I certainly hope we get a seed that forces us to clear a lot more than the first 2 have. I'd like to not have go mode in 20 minutes. But it is what it is.
Come on, what's wrong with that 20-minute go mode?
I'm sure it's great for Hook 2 play-in winner over here, but I don't like it.
Look, let's not talk about it, okay?
Yeah, like I feel like one of Dia's strengths is where she's gotten like a lot better over the past 6 months was, she's kind of known as playing sort of gambly, but her straight up foot race speed has gotten so fast over the past 6 months that just trying to play straight up spot for spot against her is almost always a losing proposition. And when you have someone who's that aggressive and can beat you in a foot race, that's why she's here. That's why she's one of the best racers there is in Free Enterprise. So thankful to get to game 3 and hopefully get lucky and go on to the finals.
Indeed, very well raised game here. But again, bringing it back up to one apiece. So I hear we're also getting music from you during the spoiler log, or once the spoiler log's done. Was there anything looking at this seed? Oh, actually, before we say that, we do have the finishing just behind you. 1 hour, 1 minute, 27 seconds is the official race bot time. Again, GG's to her. But going back to what I was going to ask, you're seeing some of the spoiler log. Was there anything you were like, that wouldn't have been fun to deal with anywhere near?
No, I kind of left the room as soon as I did the dot done and just kind of went to get some more water because I was like, an Eddie fight that you always feel like you're just waiting for the dot done to roll in by the time you get to like 8 minutes, and then by the time you hit 18 minutes, like, well, all right, maybe this wasn't the best idea. So I don't think there really would have been anything else that would have changed how that went, because like if the only other spot that you could have feasibly hit, like maybe if Baradin had Twin Harp and that was done first, but I still think, Eddie stratting Odin was the way to go. If that was like almost any other character in the Asura spot, it gets a little hairy, but Odin there, D and I both know how to deal with that, so that was kind of that, really.
And speaking of Dia, she has joined us. GG's Dia on that still very well run seed. I saw you light up, but I didn't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Perfect. So we have again your boy Eddie sitting in Baron Inn behind an Asura and a very, very quick down Elements. You grab him afterwards and head down to that Odin. How are you feeling about those fights? Because it did take you you did bounce out from once or twice, but overall, what would you have changed going through there?
Basically, once I saw where everything was in this seed, I figured third Triodin had already done me in at that point, and I would need Fleury to mess up.
It was actually very close. You actually entered the Z fight slightly ahead of Fleury, but then you had that unfortunate mismenu and took that reset.
Yeah, and that was actually a side effect for me deciding to be a little cheeky and say, Edge, go sit down, I don't want you anymore. Because what happened was, I'm used to doing, the hide, then 3 menus, then hide again. So I do that, but Eddie's the third character this time, and because hide's the only thing there, it just shows.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because one, you didn't pick up the edge. So why didn't you grab the edge on your way down?
How often do you guys see one of these seeds compete with 4 characters?
So you went for shenanigans. I approve. So you're going through. So because you're just kind of like on muscle memory, that's what brought out the Edward. Muscle memory gets the worst of us all, though.
Basically. And Puzzle Morpheus said that, my fight was about a minute 10 slower just due to the damage rolls. So it ended up not really mattering. I'm more upset with the Odin fight, not getting that first try just because I wasn't thinking about how the script worked correctly, so I'm more upset about that than just a miss menu.
Hey, you know what? The important thing is we're going to watch you bounce back during Game 3. That's the one that's going to be most exciting. And like Fleury was saying before you hopped in, he's excited for more than just about 20 minutes worth of a seed. What are you looking forward to in Game 3 then?
Yeah, I would like to see that, you actually have to play the game a little bit instead of just hiding, showing, hiding, showing for half the seed.
Yeah, we like free enterprise. Let's play it.
Hey, look.
You mean you don't want to get all of the items you need for Go mode on the overworld?
Yeah, let's have something on the moon.
Hey, all I ever ask is that we have, a seed where you guys have to do really rude scavenger hunts, a hidden Demus somewhere. Look, let's get Demus behind CPU next time. That's what we need to get for you guys, apparently.
take it. I mean, it's better than an Eddie seed. Like the other kind of Jetsu I'm okay with. An Eddie seed, though, is just, it's grueling and nerve-wracking, and just the way that other seeds are not.
Yep. As long as you don't give us elements or CPU and elements, then we're fine with that.
We agree if elements, we just both agree to just
Reroll.
bit randomly.
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad.
It
While
is.
so while you guys are talking, we have Fisherman's Horizon from Final Fantasy VIII as the music on Flurry screen. We're going to be a little quiet for a moment while you guys get to listen to this lovely harp rendition. And again, Fisherman's Horizon, Final Fantasy VIII, one of the more underrated games in my personal opinion. But so what you guys should do is, I think for Game 3, gentleman's agreement, no Eddie strats, find your way through the seat somewhere else. That way we get more free enterprise.
I mean, tell that to the seed.
Yeah.
Hey, the seat can give you those Eddie strats. Just say nope, we're gonna do something else instead. Just run
Yeah.
around the seat for the next 20 minutes.
You know what else we would do? We would go, get 1200 HP, and then do that instead.
Yeah, basically. Like, if that's any other boss that requires us to do something, I think we just grab another fighter, get to 1200, and like, okay, here we go there. Because there were no other Palums, so yeah.
All right, so again, we have both of you all tied up at 1. Great runs for the both of you. So we are going to see you again on Thursday, the 5th, same time, same channel. It looks like. I am super hyped. How are you guys both feeling going into Game 3? Starting with
Sorry?
you.
Oh, okay. I'm upset with the Game 3, mainly because it ruins my bracketology chances. But whatever, I can't win that, so now I just have to win the whole bracket.
I'm just thankful to get more games in at this point. Like, I'd like to make the finals. That would be great, but there is no shame whatsoever in losing to Dia, so I just hope the race is a little more enjoyable to play than the second one was. Even if it's something like a rude. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I was just gonna say, let's just have more content that we have to clear and get to play more free enterprise. And win or lose, what happens happens.
I mean, when you can combine our first and second matches here, and we've both played seeds with this flag set that have been longer than that combined, that's pretty sad.
Like our first race.
Yeah.
I think if you add up to our times, yeah, Dia's right. I think if you add up our times, they are less than what we rolled in the round of 32.
Yeah, you guys have been getting nothing but really quick seeds lately, but you know what? It's that's how she goes sometimes. And you guys have been, again, that's the nice thing. We get to see these really great strats that some of the runners, like myself, who can't handle these Eddie strats, you get to show it off. Again, not the most exciting to watch, but still very, very awesome to see from a clinical point of view. Which again, we 100% do enjoy, and we are very happy for you guys to show it off. But we've kept you guys yakking too long. Xenocat, you got any other questions?
No, that's good. I'm good.
All right, again, thanks very much, guys. GG's to both of you, and we'll see you guys Thursday.
Yep, see you then. Appreciate you guys taking the time to do the restream and commentary and all that. You guys are the engine that makes this keep running. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we'll see you Thursday.
Yep, really appreciate it. Thanks for all you all do.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Again, that was both LQFleury14 and Dia. Make sure you guys give them a follow. They put on a great show for you guys. And again, just want to give another big shout out to the ones behind the scenes. Neobari doing the restreaming, making sure the audio is sounding great, and we have Possible Morpheus lighting up all those lovely objectives. And of course, Xenocat, my co-commentator here with me tonight.
Thank you for joining me in the booth as well, Dathis. This was a fun race to commentate.
Absolutely. Okay, and it looks like, according to the whispers in my ear, we have a raid target of RPG Limit Break. They've been one of our great, thankful friends this entire race, letting us restream some races. So let's show them a little love back. They are currently going through Questing for Glory, doing the Hope and Healing Community. It's the RPG speedrunning marathon to support NAMI, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So currently they're going through a week-long event to raise money and awareness for NAMI and help support as many programs and services. So we're going to shoot you guys on over there, give them a little bit of love. They're currently in the middle of Final Fantasy 15, different from what we're looking at, but not always fabulous, none the same, or all the same. Let's show them a little bit of love. And again, see you back on Thursday for Game 3.